And I think from a super practical standpoint, just jumping off that, I would say as we start to build this bridge, we need to develop a common language about certain things. So from a practical standpoint, from technical to artistic, I would say we need to try to avoid confusing terms, or at least define those terms for our team in a way that we can all understand. So for example, words like muddy, punchy, harsh, brittle, bright, dark, what does that mean? Because if I asked you what is something that sounds muddy, there might be an engineer who might say, you know what, I need to cut 6 dB at 180 to take the mud out of the low mids. Well, you guys might not know what 6 dB at 180 is. And so if the starting point of our conversation is a foreign language, we need to develop a way to interpret for each other.
Right.
So not defining muddy is this according to this textbook, but for our team, when I say something's too bright or harsh or dark or thumpy, whatever the word is, what does that mean? So that when you, as a shorthand way, Todd, you could say, man, my acoustic feels really bright today. Okay, well, I know as the engineer what he means by bright. Might not be a textbook definition, but we've agreed as a team, this is what bright means. Yeah. I'm gonna pick on Travis. I've told the story before, but there was a time years ago when our monitor engineer, who's a very brilliant engineer in the traditional sense of the word, and Travis were dealing with issues with his monitor mix. And he said, man, I just wish my mix could sound more organic. Well, to a guy who's highly technical, what in the world do you mean by that? And you and Kyle had to spend time kind of working out some of that terminology.
Yeah, very classic situation. Kyle was, his knowledge of sound and how everything works is immense, and so he was referring to everything in terms of hertz or dBs, and I had no context of that. I just knew that when a monitor engineer I would say, hey, I need this louder, they would sweep it and make it louder. Well, I didn't know dBs. Still don't really even understand what the little squiggly line is on the unity, that all that stuff. It doesn't necessarily make sense to me yet. But I knew the best way for me to communicate, meaning organic, was like, I want it to sound less processed or less digital or less harsh. I wanted it to sound more natural. The best word I knew how to describe that was organic, which probably does not have a place
and
in...
Kyle's thinking like fair trade,
like fair
shade
trade,
grown,
Whole Foods, free range,
lack of antibiotics,
Yeah. Cage free. My mix needs to say, it needs to sound like it came from Whole Foods, basically.
Technically, you do prefer your drums cage free, so that's
that's another topic. Very good. Another topic.
Yeah. So,
but we did sit down, and I was like, "Hey, Kyle, this is what I'm thinking. Let me give you my context," and he gave me his context.
Yeah.
And it worked out. It just took some time.
So next time you needed something to sound a certain way, he had an understanding, and it was a partnership at that point. So, in terms of everybody hates the sound guy, man, find a new sound guy. I'm sorry. I mean, there's something. Don't get me on a soapbox. I'm sorry. We have to get over ourselves on the tech side, and we'll talk about that some other time.
Try bringing him a coffee.
Try reaching out. Again, the bridge starts with you. So if we can find a way to encourage any sort of softness from him, and we like coffee, so I'll not talk anymore about that.